Hello, Ralph. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Any updates on injuries, illnesses, or anything COVID related with the squad?
Yeah, I mean, we have after the last game another big injury with Will Smallbone, would make the worst for him and for us. It's an ACL injury, so half year out maybe. So it's horrible for the young lad and for us. And yeah, in the moment it is definitely what means injuries not our best run, to be honest. But yeah. There are maybe some circumstances in the moment in this strange season that leads to a lot of problems with a topic that we didn't have the whole last season. So it is interesting to see what this season does to the players. I think we are not the only team that struggles with injuries. So it's quite strange. Yeah.
Just looking ahead to your match tomorrow, how important is this competition to you and the players?
Very important. Absolutely a chance for trying to go through many rounds if it's possible. We know the next two fixtures also if we win the game tomorrow. So all the focus is on the game tomorrow, that we know that we have a chance to have another home game on the weekend. So the focus is on a team that was with a little bit strange preparing for this game with quarantine and a lot of COVID cases. But as I know, the final tests were all negative. So the most important thing for me is that it is no risk to play against them. What means getting infected with the virus, and for us, especially for young players, the chance to step up tomorrow. And we will have a few changes in the team, definitely.
And you mentioned COVID quite a bit, and you would have seen the sad news about the Shrewsbury boss being in hospital.
Yeah, wish him all the best recovery. I heard he was very ill and that the illness was very serious. Hope he's better now and can come back out of the hospital as quick as possible. And this is the most important thing.
Thank you, Ralph. Good luck.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, we'll go to Luke Scanlon at TalkSport.
Hi there. Yeah, you mentioned Danny Ings is being out. Obviously, his is a COVID-related situation there. How crucial do you think he is to your success this season? You could have done with him at the weekend, and how likely is it we're going to get a contract extension for Danny as well?
I mean, this is not a big surprise when I say he's very important for our game. He knows this, we know this, but we also won games without him. This has also happened, but for long term, when he's longer out, I think we really feel it. The quality he has in front is definitely outstanding, and for us important. You see it. There are a few other teams that are really struggling with losing good strikers. I think about Wolves, for example, when Raul Jimenez was long out, and they also had problems now to replace him. And it is for us as a club different to sub him or to sub somebody in who is immediately on the same level like he is. So this is also the reason why we really try to extend his contract. Yes, it's not a surprise and not a secret. But as always, we are in negotiation. We have at the moment a tricky situation for every club. I think in the Premier League, everybody is losing a lot of money in the moment with this crisis we are going through. So we only can do what we are able to do, and it's still healthy then for us, and this is why we are looking. I think Danny shows that he wants to be with us, he wants to be with the club. We know that he's an important player for us. I'm hoping still that we find an agreement, and finally then he stays with us. If not, life will go on, and this club will also exist, and then hopefully we find a way that we can both live with it.
Sure. Another striker you've worked with your time at Leipzig was Timo Werner. He's had a bit of a tough time at the moment. 10 Premier League games with no goal. Tony Cascarino said on TalkSport over the weekend that he could become a bit of a flop, as we've seen with the likes of Shevchenko and Torres at Chelsea. What do you think Werner needs to do to get back to the level that we know he can play at? And would it be a massive mistake for Chelsea to sell him so soon if they were to do that?
I mean, I know Timo very well, and I have seen him in situations where he was not good. Most of the time when I've seen this, and because of the reason that the game didn't fit to him, that the team didn't play in the way he can bring his best on the pitch, I think. He's definitely a player. You have to adapt your game on him. If you do this, then he gives you everything you need from a striker. But therefore, I think he has some qualities you really have to focus on. And the good thing for him was, I think, it was in Leipzig extremely, also when I was there, but we concentrated our game completely on his qualities, and with our quick transition after winning the ball, he was perfect for our game. But also last season when he was with Julian, he was also scoring a lot of goals. But yeah, you really need to look to bring him in the best position that he can put his strength on the pitch, and then he's, for me, one of the best strikers in Europe.
Sure, and one final one from me, Ralph. Today, I'm not sure if you've heard, it's Blue Monday, which is supposedly the most depressing day of the year. You seem like quite an upbeat man yourself. I just wanted to ask what tips you have for staying happy and what we can do to remain positive.
Yes, it's definitely a topic, especially in this special time we are now in, that is not to minimize. It is really, really there, and for everyone in the moment, it's difficult, I think, to stay positive and to have a good mood, and to find the short moments where you can enjoy. But to be honest, we are all, when you're healthy and you are staying at home, I mean, there are some worse moments outside than only staying home. So it's never easy. Everybody misses a lot, especially the social contact is something human need, and I can only speak for myself. I also haven't seen my family since nearly. So my wife is here with me in England, but my kids are in Germany. My parents are in Austria. I really like to bring them here or go there, but it's still not possible. We use the internet for getting in contact, but it's never easy, and it's a tough time for everybody. Try to find some energy outside in the nature if it's possible. Please let the people go out there. I know that the lockdown must say we have to shut down our social contacts, but the contact to the nature and to the energy we get in the nature, I think we shouldn't let this go down. If people want to make sport outside, we have to let them do, because otherwise we create the next risk group, if you want, because all the people that are not moving, they get in the next risky group, because we all know that overweighted people have a problem with the virus and are more risk to get a harder illness, and this is why I really pray for being more in the nature, moving more, making sport outside, because especially our kids need this.
Sure, thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Adam Blackmore.
Ralph, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You've obviously mentioned Will Smallbone, which is terrible news given how positively he played coming back from such a long time out of the first team. But what about the other players? You already had 6 players unavailable to you. Are any of them likely, or could any of them come back and use this FA Cup match or matches to get back to fitness?
Well, not on Tuesday, definitely not. Maybe on Saturday. The earliest return will be Ingzi. Then, Musa maybe with Ori are the next 2 guys. Maybe they're coming back. Then I think already maybe also in this group. Then maybe Yannick, but it can be in February, and Salisu is still longer out. He has a muscle injury. We have problems in the moment with muscle injuries, and there are some reasons, I think, what are necessary or are responsible for this. We are in a fantastic building here, but we cannot use anything. We cannot use our Kiro sauna, our normal sauna. We cannot use anything here, not the pool, nothing. and we have still the same games, we have still the same intensity. Now we are also limited in eating here together, so everything is not what we normally do in professional football. There are some reasons why we do it normally, and the moment we cannot do it, and then it's not so surprising that you have in some moments some more injuries.
So when you look at the cup tie against Shrewsbury, I think before you had the injuries and with so many points on the board, I was looking forward to you attacking the FA Cup because you were in a good position in the league. But selection-wise, you could take a bigger risk and play more kids and rest some players, or you could keep most of the players from Saturday playing again because you want to get a win and back to winning ways and score goals. But then the physical demands are greater. So how are you going to balance that?
Yeah, it would be a mixed group tomorrow. Some players have to play because there are not a lot of alternatives, and some young guys have to step in and show what they have shown in the sessions, that they are developing their game, that they deserve to get a chance now to play, and then hopefully they do a good job because they have quality, and it's a good moment to show up.
I don't know how much of a chance you've had to watch Shrewsbury on video or anything, because they haven't played since December because of their COVID problems, but they were on a great run in League One before they got COVID, unbeaten, beaten the top sides, getting themselves out of trouble. So what do you know of them as a team? What do you make of them, and what are the dangers tomorrow night for you?
Yeah, as always, we know a lot about the opponent. We have a lot of pictures about the opponent, what we can expect. Aggressive team against the ball, good organized, some good automatism, and although they have been now a little bit out for quarantine and don't train, I think a good organized team can always immediately step in and fight, and this is interesting in the FA Cup. Yeah, it's always possible to play this one game in a good way, and we must be really warned from all the examples we have seen in this round. Also, Leeds was stepping out against a lower league team, and so it's always important to take it very serious and to be immediate in the game, to do all the things good, what we can do good, and then in the end try to find the 90 minutes the key of winning.
Just one quick one, if I can, finally. Ryan Bertrand's contract offer situation, is that exactly the same as the Danny Ings situation, or further down the line?
Yes, I don't want to say how far we are with every player. It's not necessary. You can be sure that we want to show every player that we want to continue with him, and then it's about finding the agreement. And the players, they are over 30 years old, normally want to have a long contract because maybe it's their last in their life. We have to find a good balance of showing them that we want him, or on the other side also knowing when you are getting older what you can demand from this player. But I think Ryan showed in this time since I'm here that he developed his game massively. Also, I'm very happy with his mentality. He really is absolutely a role model for how professional he takes it, and how good he played in the last. He was maybe the most consistent player in the back four in the last 2 years since I'm here, and I have seen this and I've recognized this, and there's no reason why we shouldn't work together in the future.
Thank you very much, Ralph. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
I just wondered, in terms of the young players, obviously it's not ideal with all the injuries at the moment, but in terms of their development, is it good for them to have this experience in and around the first team? And I just wonder, with the experienced players that are still around, Shane and Ryan and Alex and Prowsey, how much help and support they're providing them in training in the changing room?
In the changing room in the moment, not so much, because we sit all in splitted changing rooms. So we don't change together. So we have to keep the social distance. But it's also interesting because I think it's very often a discussion about the importance of the dressing room and what you speak there. It's not important for me, never. The more important thing is what happens on the pitch and how committed and how good organized you are on the pitch. And then you see this is more helpful for the people, for the young players, especially when they get good information from our playbook, from the way we want to play in this club. And this is the reason why we did this big work in the summer for a complete new philosophy for this club. And when I see the development of these young players in the way we want to play, then it is much easier now to take them and to put them in the team and expect good things. I think Will on the weekend showed again that he was on a good way, much better way than before his injury, and now he's again out. This is a really pity and frustrating, but this is the chance for the next one, and hopefully we can develop some more of these young lads and give them a chance to show up.
And I just wondered, given you played on Saturday, given there's obviously lots of decisions that you've got to make at the moment, Ralph, regarding their sort of focus and being able to prepare for the game, how quickly or soon can you let them know the team, whether they're likely to feature tomorrow night? Is it something that you sort of leave to the last minute, or do you try and give them as much notice as possible?
The only chance is in the moment to prepare a team is not to train on the pitch, is to work on the videos and on the clips you can show them, and tactical work can also happen in the auditorium. It doesn't have to happen on the pitch, and this is how we developed our game very often, especially now in this time. It's more important to listen to the tactical informations, to work on the tactical match plan, and then the rest is then being fresh as possible when you step on the pitch, and show a good performance.
Great, thanks, Ralph.
Thank you.
Okay, go to Dan Sheldon at The Athletic.
Thanks, Jordan. Good afternoon, Ralph. If I could just ask, you've mentioned that you're going to make some changes for Tuesday night's game. Of the young players we've seen in and around the bench recently, who is who's guaranteed almost to start out of the youngsters, do you think? And
it depends what players I want to rest, or what players from the game on the Saturday have some issues. And we know a few players that is not good if they play 2 games in 3 days, or not so perfect, and others, they can handle it definitely. And that's then the decision you have to take, who you want to give a chance. But there will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. So half of the team would be new.
And I've spoken to a few people about a player called Caglar Chalo. What sort of qualities has he got, and what's he done to impress you to be in and around the first team?
They're quick learners. They are good on the ball. They are aggressive against the ball. They learn quick the ball-orientated play we normally show. And yes, I mean, they are all physically not on the level to be immediately a Premier League player. They have to improve, especially their physical strength. But with the ball and tactically, they are smart and good developed so far. And this is a good fundament, a good basic. And on this, we have to build up. And
sorry, one more, if I may quickly. You mentioned Will Smallbone's ACL in the first part of this press conference. Was that as a result of the first challenge? And if it was, why was he allowed to continue?
I think when you have such an injury, it's a little bit of shock. And it's I haven't had it ever in my life, so I have heard that it doesn't hurt so much. And then you think maybe it's not so bad, and that's the reason why he continued. And this is what I've heard, and that's maybe the reason why I've done it. It doesn't hurt that much, but it was serious. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll go to Dan Rose.
Hi, Ralph.
Hello.
You mentioned there about Ryan Bertrand being a role model for the squad and in and around it. I believe Jake Vokins, your other left back, the young lad in the squad, used to clean his boots. Just how much does he learn from him on a day-to-day basis in and around the squad?
Well, when he's looking at what he does, then he can learn a lot, I think, because he shows, especially against the ball, a very, very intelligent game, I think, every time. I think the way we do it here is also for Ryan was something new, and really enjoys it from the first day. I could feel it. Ryan Bertrand is a player who is smart and has a lot of experience. A lot of managers had in his entire playing career. So you have to convince him with a way of playing that is absolutely clear for him, and then you have a lot of then you have a lot of feedback and mostly also good performances, because he needs to have clear messages structured messages, and I think the way we play is very clear with the ball and without the ball, and this helps everybody, and especially experienced players like it very much, and he enjoys the way we play, I think.
I think with Jake Vokins, he signed a new contract with the club in the summer, didn't he? I mean, I think you gave him his home debut in the competition last season. Just how pleased have you been with his progression? I think he said he wants to. Oh, he's doing that.
Yes, I mean, you must be ready to play when we demand you to do it, and I think you must wait for the chances. It's not so easy for him because Ryan is absolutely a first 11 player, and it's difficult to step. I want him to give a lot of pressure on Ryan, and when he gets the chance to play, then he normally showed a good performance. I mean, he can also score goals. He's with a good covering of a distance always on the pitch, I think, and finally learned also tactically defending better than he was when he was stepping in our team. So because now Ryan is out for the Arsenal Premier League game because of the suspension, and he gets a chance to play, and if he plays tomorrow we will see, but he's in the next weeks we will have chances to play.
Thanks, Ralph.
Tom Leach.
Hello, Ralph. How are you?
Hi, thank you. Fine.
When I spoke to you after the FA Cup draw, when we found out that we got Shrewsbury, you said that, I think it was after the Fulham game, you said that Mohamed Salah, this could have been a good opportunity. I think you said a good moment for him to make his debut for the club. Mm-hmm. It's a shame to hear then now that he won't be playing in this game, but what specifically has been the problem with Salisu so far? You say it's a muscle injury. Has it been the same injury over and over again? Has it been a mix of injuries or a mix of different things?
No, but the problem was that as he was fit, he was sitting on the bench, and then on the next session, and this is the problem we have a lot of injuries of players that didn't play all the time without a preseason, and then you step in and want to come in the team, train hard, and then it's because of all the circumstances I spoke before about. It's tough to come on the same level like the others. They're always playing, and you have a little bit more interest of the players. They were not always in the first 11, like Reddy, like Nathan Taylor, like Michael Oberfemi. So these players have, or Salisu also had more problems with that, and and then it was a very bad situation for him to have another muscle injury now, and then he's out.
You've mentioned that so many youngsters are going to play on Tuesday night, tomorrow night. Saints B haven't played a game since mid-December, a competitive game, at least one that we know of. Are you confident that they're going to be ready to step in? There's going to be no rustiness? And also, is tomorrow a good opportunity for you to show that the work you've been doing with the academy, with your playbook, is working? It's a good opportunity for you.
Yeah, but we have also an opponent who wasn't playing since December, I think. Yeah, so there are not so many difference. So yes, they had always hopefully a good session. We didn't train so much in the past. I don't expect the best ever performance from every player. I only expect that they try to bring what we need to do, especially in all four parts of our game, that we are really online all the time. And I know that there will be some mistakes in the game. That's not the issue. Bring on the pitch what you can bring, and this can be enough to have a good team performance. That's the reason why we have maybe half of the team, half that was always playing, half that is new, and that gives us the chance to have a fundament still on the pitch that helps the other ones. But I don't expect that we are playing like the best team in the world. This is not what I expect.
Okay, Ralph, thank you. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, Neil McLennan.
Yeah, thank you, and good afternoon, Ralph. Can I just clarify regarding Danny Ings not being involved in the squad? Is that because he's still suffering some effects of COVID, or just he's missed training, or you just want to rest him anyway?
Just because he's missed training, and we want to prepare him, we want to build him up. It's not. I mean, he worked at home a little bit, but it's not the same like being on the pitch with us and playing with us and training with us on the pitch. And that is the reason why we need to give him time. and because the risk of another injury, then I don't want to take. I want to build him up a little bit, and then when he's ready, then you can use him.
Sure. I mean, do you think generally players you need to spend special attention to, because no one really knows what the post effects are COVID are? You've got to be extra careful with them.
Yeah, but our doctor and our physios are very careful, and you can be sure that normally we take more, give them more time that it's sometimes necessary. So I'm more a coach that gives them better more time, and then they are safe and come back safe. But yeah, in the special situation we are now in, if tomorrow is the World Cup final, I think he can play, yes. But it's not an uninteresting game. It's also a tough game for us, but it is a game where I don't want to take the biggest risk to bring him back.
Understood. Thank you.
Jordan Davies.
Hi, Ralph. Just one from me. You mentioned that if Danny Ings doesn't stay at the club, then life will go on. Is that a big concern from yourself and the club that could happen? And how worried are you that in this kind of situation that you can, and not just Southampton, but other clubs as well, can lose players, and there isn't that chance to replace them as efficiently as you'd like?
Yeah, but we are in a moment in a situation where every club is struggling with the finances, and we as a club, we must be very strong to keep our limits, what we have financially, because we are not gambling. We are not playing a game here. We're trying to develop this club in a healthy way. And that it's not only about Ings. We have a few other players. We also maybe want to extend their contracts. And if it is not, because it is not what we expect to pay in the future, then it is not. And then we have to look for somebody else who is cheaper. But it's in the end, we know that it is always it should be a win-win situation for both. If they think they want to make the next step in the summer to a bigger club, and there's an offer that is fitting to the player, then we can always negotiate about that. We know that we are not the end of the ranking, yes, we are the top of the ranking, yeah. But in the end, I think we have a good core. They were committing to our club. They showed that they want to be with us. Every player is invited to do it in our limits we have. If it is not, then this is what I said, life will go on.
Okay, Adrian Kajumba.
Hi, Ralph. I just want to pick up on something that you mentioned in the first section about you almost expected, or you're not surprised maybe by some of the injuries you've got because of the machinery and the facilities you can't use at the training ground. Obviously, everyone knows why those kind of rules have been brought in, etc. But then at the same time, there's your players' welfare that's maybe being put at risk because you don't have access to this equipment, facilities, etc. I mean, how do you feel about it? Do you feel a frustration because you can't and because of the impact, or do you understand? I mean, where do you stand on it?
I mean, it's always easy to say no to everything. Eh? This is always easy. I mean, we are all not sure how high is the risk when you use this or this. I cannot tell you. I'm not the doctor. I'm not the guy who can tell you. So I have to do what I'm asked to do. In the end, you're right. It's frustrating because it affects everything. And there are some reasons. It affects even the transfers now in the winter. I haven't seen any in this transfer window so far, because everywhere clubs are struggling with injuries. Nobody wants to give a player on loan, even if it's a player that is no part of the first 20. They don't want to loan because they say, you never know. Suddenly you have a few COVID cases, more injuries like normal. On loan, you don't get any player, and even buying is difficult at the moment. So this is a strange situation for every club, and tough for us to manage it. And when you have long-term injuries like we have now with Will and with Michael, then it's even worse. Short-term injuries you can maybe handle over a few weeks. Long-term injuries are definitely horrible, and that minimize your squad massively. and then you have to have a good academy to bring young players in. But this is for long-term subs. It's not the same level. Yeah? You cannot expect for them that they step in and play immediately on the same level like players they have 100 or 200 Premier League games. It's not possible. But okay, we know this. We are still competitive. I think we still do a good job here, and we have to understand that this is a special situation. And not every club has the money immediately to say in the winter, yeah, but now we have so many injuries, we need 3 or 4 more players. We are not this club that can do this.
With the muscle injuries and sort of not being able to use certain parts of the club effectively that are important to keep the players fit, is there anything you can do in terms of tailoring training, changing how long? Is there anything you could do in that sense? Or again, is it just a situation you have to accept?
It's more the recovery stuff that you cannot use. The Cairo sauna, for example, is a very important part of the rehab, especially when you have following games coming up in 3 days, 4 days. This is what the guys really using. There are some reasons why we have this. It's not because we have too much money and we want to spend it and let's bring it here. No, there is some reason why we have it here, and there are some reasons why the players are using it normally. Yeah? And if they can't, then you have a little bit less recovery. We are not the only team that is struggling with this. In Germany, it's the same. I've spoken with a few guys in Germany. They have the same issues. They also are not allowed to use anything indoor. And this is definitely what I always say. That was also why I was for the five subs in a game, because then you can a little bit manage more maybe the impact for the players. But we have this topic very often, I think.
Excellent. Thanks very much, Ralph. Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.